Welcome everyone. Welcome to Healing Waves. Welcome to the Redwoods, Eureka, California. Hey, how you doing? I got here as fast as I could. So, hope all is well. We're here in Eureka, California. I'm Damien Sharp with Healing Waves, and figured we'd do a check-in. It's a good time for you? Okay. So, get comfortable standing, sitting, laying down, whatever it be. We're gonna close our eyes and take 3 easy deep breaths. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Relax. I'm going to take 3 more breaths with the intention of feeling kind of the softness, almost like imagine soft light when you see a picture of soft light. So it's just softness, soft light over your whole body, kind of scanning through your body as your breath moves. So in breathing, this soft light, exhaling, feeling it connecting deeper, softening, relaxing. Again, inhaling. And relaxing. It's this kind of gentleness. There's no judgment. There's more, it's an observation state. So you're going to inhale and then exhale. Then we're going to easily, softly open our eyes, but still stay with the in-breath and the out-breath. And we're going to play with doing this kind of check-in as you're still visually looking around. It could be a room you're in, your home, somewhere, who knows where it is, but you're just being present with the space around you, not just looking at the screen, but kind of looking around you, but it's with this soft kind of focus. There's no judgment there. If you got a pile of stuff over there, or you got a project that you started over there, it's just an observation. You're just observing that. So notice the space you're in and how you're observing it, how you're experiencing this space. Notice where your focus or attention goes. So notice just a moment as you in-breathe, where does your focus and your attention go? You got this big, we all have a big broad space, even if we're in a small room, of things and stuff. So where's your focus go to? So for me, it's funny because I'm in the woods here, and beautiful ferns, trees, decomposing wood, banana slugs, many things lurking, Yeti footprints. And I noticed my backpack sitting over there that has my camera gear, the mic set up, and it's just kind of a mess, a little bit dropped onto the floor, and I noticed that. And so I noticed this mess and amongst this beautiful mess. But that mess, I noticed it as a messy mess. I must confess that I must clean up the messy mess. And it reflected a little bit for me of how there's a lot of things in my life right now that just feel so overwhelming and kind of a mess. So I have boxes at my house that I haven't unpacked from the house we sold in Sacramento, and I already had a house full of stuff. So just this, there's a, as we all have, I have all these projects and these things. And so I noticed that. So notice what you noticed. Maybe you noticed just a beautiful flower, some people walking by smiling, some beautiful picture your kids drew or that you bought somewhere that's hanging on the wall, whatever it be, a beautiful pillowcase, whatever, wherever you are, a plate. So, or just your overall house and how much you appreciate it. So whatever that is that you're noticing, I want you to take a moment to give that attention in the space. So not just glazing over it and then start looking at something else. Notice that got your attention. So me, I'm looking at this backpack, and I don't even have to necessarily look at it, but you can just overall view the space and give it some attention. So I'm going to take 3 breaths and just give it attention, and with the intention of seeing what's underneath it, what you could do to create kind of an ease around being in the space with that, and maybe, hopefully even finding maybe some action steps that would support you in not feeling overwhelmed or feeling more at ease, or support you, if it's the beauty and the love you're seeing, support you in feeling more of that into your life. And so hopefully, with however and whatever we're seeing, we can get to the point of fulfilling more of what we want in our life at the end of this. So we keep our eyes open, taking in the whole space, giving attention to whatever it is that had your focus. So it's this soft gentleness that we really need to have with ourselves. So if we think about how you would be with an infant, if you had an infant before you and you had to take care of your own child, or it's your niece or your nephew, and think about the gentleness and the kindness that you would give to that child. And in this moment, I'm asking for you to do the same for yourself. And especially if it's around something that maybe you've been beating up yourself or creating a conflict or struggle with. And if it's about something that is beautiful in your home or in your space and that you want more of, being gentle and kind to seeing that you are worthy of that, and so is everyone worthy of more beauty, more harmony, more peace, more love, and more abundance, as we all are. So noticing that, and what I came to for myself is, as opposed to even an action step of I got to get things done, and it was a kind of a distancing of the mess being as messy as I thought it was, a beautiful mess, and not judging it as much. And then I came to this place of, I think of my mom in this situation, how my mom would probably be with me or with the grandkids, where she's like, it's okay, you know, give yourself some space and some time and honor yourself for where you are now. And so it's this feeling of that, and also that it's not as important as I probably think it is. You know, when you think about the fact that there's a lot of these things that we put so much importance on, even emotionally, and what's the most important is connection in our friends and our family and our pets, and these things that, you know, if you've had a loved one that has passed quickly, where it puts in perspective a lot of what is of the most value. And it doesn't mean that you can't have all the great things you want or desire and have less messes. It removes you from the tension around it. And the overwhelm went away for me. So being kind and gentle with yourself, breathing in. And for you, there may be an action step. Is there an action step? Is there a state of being, a feeling that arose that supports? So for me, it's this feeling of creating more ease. For me, it's a feeling of a different kind of song. In a sense, that's what I'm getting right now. It's like a different kind of music to me getting things done. That's more flowing, more gentle, more beautiful. Fairy music. There could be fairy music in the woods. I'm sure you're hearing it right now. So it's that idea of kind of the flowing of my energy moving with that a little differently, as opposed to very staccato and maybe some crazy classical music. I gotta get this done. It's like fairies. No, I thought maybe if you call them, they'd come out, but they're not out right now. So breathing and appreciating, feeling what is that noticing. So let's take a few breaths to just bring appreciation to ourselves, still eyes open. Take a breath appreciating your observation and what came into your awareness. Take a breath appreciating yourself for releasing the tension and are creating more expansion around you, receiving more beauty, abundance, and peace and harmony. Now for all of us. So if you see under whatever it was that you saw, if you saw it, it was like for me, it was a mess and it was complex and it felt overwhelming. I tuned into what I actually want more of, which is kind of an ease and a peace. So take a moment to imagine whatever it was, if it was a challenge, and reverse that into what is it that you want more of around that. So I would like more ease and flow and less messes and less unfinished projects. And I say that, but I'd like to have a lot of projects going at once. So just less messes around all of it, and a feeling of more ease around it. And I'm envisioning an abundance of creativity and financial support and audience support and family support and friends support and universal support, nature. So I'm envisioning all this support as I'm going into my creative endeavors. And so I'm going to breathe in and envision that even more. So I'm not focused on the mess anymore. I'm focused on the abundance of creativity, the ease of flow that I can do to finish each project, the ease of flow that I can have 3 or 4 things, an album over here, a movie I'm working over here, maybe a business project, a website I'm working on over here, and I can kind of flow with all those, and they can complete when they're ready, but they're not competing with each other in a sense. So there's that flow. So that's for me. So what is it for you? So think about it for a minute. We're going to take a minute. What is it for you? So breathing slowly. What is it, the reverse of that you want in your life? What do you want? What do I want in my life around this? What do I want? What is it you want? So connect with that, breathe, see it expanding. A lot of expansion here, right? See it expanding into all areas of your life, what that thing is you want. See it expanding in certain ways that is very visually distinct, like I said, getting support, getting financial support, feeling ease in the flow around projects. So see it coming that way. What is it? How is it manifesting? How is that support for your vision of yourself that is expanding, getting more peace, harmony, abundance, grace, whatever it is. So envisioning that, taking a few breaths, 3 breaths just to envision that. Eyes open, soft gaze around, but envisioning that. Very good. I mean, you can play with this more. You can be with this more after the video and sit and breathe and be with it more. One of the things that is very fascinating, I've been finding, is there's a space in between. And so as you'll see, where we see this easiest maybe is when we see a couple or someone sometimes more removed from our family and stuff. We see 2 people coming together and there's a space of something that they're creating in between themselves. And as we become more sensitive, and meditation's great for becoming more sensitive or strengthening that muscle for seeing this. And so you'll see there's something that is unique that they create together. As soon as that person, her husband, leaves and the kid shows up and comes and talks to her, there's going to be a different kind of energy and that's being created between those 2 people. So the same thing goes, I've found, with projects. If there's a book I'm writing, if there's an album I'm working on, a song I'm working on, if there's a website I'm working on, how can I see within that, how can I give some attention to the space in between? Because what's in there, in my assessment of it, is the creative force and the creative power. It's like that center point of the idea that you have, and it's whirling around into manifestation, and it's taking your actions, because you're over here, come over here, your actions, and bouncing off in the world. And it could be getting bigger and bigger, but either way, it's like that's the relationship that's between you and the project, you and your loved one. And so noticing that space in between, giving respect to that and honoring it, and also playing with it. So that's what I think is the funnest part about it, is playing with it. If you're looking to bring in your beloved and you haven't met her or him yet, imagine instead of what they look like, or where you'd meet them, or those things that are very defined things, or what kind of food they like, or if they like tofu, or if they like steak, or whatever. They imagine more, what is it that you guys create together when you're together? What kind of energy do you create? What kind of manifestation of energy and things that you would just create? So from that, you'll start playing with it, and you'll start seeing things that you create. Maybe you just create a beautiful home and children and great activities. Maybe you create workshops and books together, and maybe you create, I don't know, going to Costa Rica and buying property and building a huge resort, or opening a restaurant in Paris. I don't know. I mean, you let your imagination spin that thing there, but always come back to focusing it's this, what is the energy in between, and what is it, how are you experiencing that? And how do you want to relate, in a sense, to a project, or to your beloved, or to your children? How do you want that relationship to be? So in a sense, that's what we were playing with. And we're also playing with the idea of that our attention in pretty much any space, be it that the attention feels constrictive or expansive, our attention is inviting us, I feel, always to deepen our awareness, to release more of our restricting beliefs, things that aren't working for us, so that we can expand more into what we truly want and what we all deserve. I mean, everybody, you know, peace, connection, freedom, abundance. And some of these things can be challenging to see. And one of the things that I think is really helpful, this is the last thing I'll say, possibly. One of the things where I look at this is I look at nature. So nature itself is abundant. You know, nature in its own right is just abundant. The way that the earth moves and works, there's an abundance. There's a spiritual thing there, but we'll not even speak to that right now. There's just an abundance of the relationship of nature and the way it was created in the beginning. So as we have come in and held and grabbed and dammed and incorporated many things, we've created, in a sense, kind of dams and walls and different avenues that are related to financial and other things that kind of dam a lot of things, from food to things. And there are places where you live where you're not going to have as much abundance, like in the middle of the desert. You're not going to be eating lots of lettuce growing out of the ground unless you build something for that. But and somehow you have water. But the nature itself is very abundant. So as we can tap into that kind of abundance of nature, the fact that you can have 10 seeds, and even if you plant those and 2 of those plants grow, and they grow a bunch of fruit or vegetables, say sweet peas, a bunch of sweet peas, they grow really good, and you got like so many, you're giving them to your neighbors. This happens to me often. Didn't happen this year. But and then they seed, and then you have more seeds. And so just looking at that, if you look at the way water works, you know, with condensation and everything, if we weren't damming and creating these deep reservoirs and had things that were more like ponds, we'd have more water coming up, condensing. We'd have more rain coming down. We'd have the topsoils and the rocks off the mountains coming down, because it presses up against the mountains, and the minerals coming. So if we had that flow coming and let the rivers and everything flood, then all that comes down into the valleys, and then we plant rice and whatever we want to plant down there, and we have all the minerals, and we don't even have to keep putting new soil amendments. So nature itself is totally abundant. So how can we get out of the way, in a sense, the way that we've gotten in the way of nature even? How can we get out of the way of our own nature of abundance? How can we notice the areas where we're constricting ourselves, where we have beliefs that even if you notice something positive in your space, there's a point probably where you have like your glass ceiling on top of it. Like I can have 10 good pictures, or I can have a really nice picture that costs $175, but I would never buy a $1,000 piece of art. Whoa, that's so much money, you know. And then maybe there's some belief in there you don't deserve it. Maybe there's some belief in there it's just too expensive. I don't know. But think about all of the time and the energy that artists put into that painting. Think about the how much it inspires you every day you look at it. If you're someone that's really into art, so whatever it be it nice clothes, be it really good food that's healthy for you, be it taking a vacation, taking a time to go to the hot springs with yourself or with your loved one, or taking your family, whatever it be. So we're also expanding that. We're expanding our ability to even receive more love, so that and receive more appreciation, and then that helps us to reciprocate that and give more appreciations and give more love. So it's a dance. And we're dancing all the time. So let's expand the dance into a more loving, abundant, peaceful, harmonious, and just groovy dance just a dance that really inspires you to create more and have your aspirations kaboom. So thank you. And we'll take a moment just to breathe in the space, giving appreciation. We already kind of did, but just as a closure, because I just kept talking. Thank you. It's beautiful here, isn't it? Hey, I'll give you a few other shots of it. Don't forget to subscribe and like to these. It helps. And also look for the next video. It might be pretty amazing. It could change your life, or at least your moment. Okay, peace. Oh, check this out. Did you see that? Yeah. I think it was a Yeti. It was chasing me. I'm not sure. It took my backpack, it took my mess. I guess I should be thankful. But I'm gonna have to go find it. My car keys are in there. Hey everyone. Crisis diverted. I got my keys back. So, got my backpack. Yeah, he just mistakenly thought it was his. He was nice. He showed me his little village and everything. Yeah, Yeti land. But yeah, I just gotta get back to the car. So I hope you're enjoying these check-ins. They may seem a little strange at times because, you know, our heads sometimes want us to try and make sense of all the stuff we're doing. And sometimes the stuff we're doing, especially in these check-ins, it's more like, it's very similar to somatic work if you've done that. And you don't have to take the head putting the tripod down. So since I'm putting you down in a nice way. So yeah, you don't have to think of not using your brain, but finding a new way to balance out the brain wisdom, the body wisdom, body IQ, spirit wisdom, whatever it is you believe or however you frame all this. So yeah. It's a trash bin. I never knew. All right, so here we go. There's a road. See, I wasn't just out in the middle of nowhere in the woods. Hey, peace.